Hello and welcome! Silrace here with Mechwarrior Online, and this is a Laser Vomit guide. Laser Vomit is a playstyle I recommend to all new players, to anybody who has taken a break from the game and is just returning, and to anybody who just wants to see their score increase. The reason for that is not because Laser Vomit is very effective. I mean, it is very effective playstyle, but because it allows you to spend so much time actually figuring out your situation, your situational awareness, your positioning. Because if you're watching the background footage where I'm doing this in a Timberwolf C, at the time this video is made, Timberwolf C is basically eclipsed by many other mechs at this role by now, but it's still very much doable in a Timberwolf C. You see me take constant breaks from engagements, where I fire my volley, I pull back into cover, and while I am cooling off to fire the next volley, I can entirely focus on the situation. What is happening around me? Where am I? Where are my teammates in relation to me? Where are my enemies in relation to me? I can change my position constantly while I am cooling off. So it's engage, break, engage, break, engage, break, rinse and repeat, and during those breaks you do not have to worry about fighting the enemy. All you have to worry about is your position in relation to your team and to your enemy. And for this reason I highly recommend this playstyle to every new player, everybody who's just coming back, and everybody who wants to see their score increase. Now, I mentioned that the Timberwolf is kind of eclipsed, and I'm just gonna toss out two things before I move into talking about the other things to facilitate this playstyle for you. Hellbringer and even Jaguar. Both of these mechs at this time basically do this playstyle better than Timberwolf. And I'm mentioning these two, not the other Inner Sphere mechs which also do this better, because if you are a new player, grab one of these two, since they are Clan Omni mechs. They will allow you to do other playstyles as well, without, you know, needing to buy new mech to do so. You can just swap around Omnipods. That's the reason I mentioned these two. Alright. Now let's talk about the other things. First of all, I'm just briefly going to mention mouse sensitivity. Because you do not want to have too sensitive mouse, otherwise you will be just spraying your lasers all over targets. I'll show you an example right here. This is how I do my mouse sensitivity in all shooters I play. 10.5 centimeters of horizontal movement across mousepad is 90-degree turn. That's about 4 inches, just a little over 4 inches for anybody who wants inches. And I tweak my settings in every single shooter to match this. So that I know I am going to turn 90 degrees by moving 10.5 centimeters on my mousepad. In addition to that, let's talk about arm lock. Arm lock is something you can first of all toggle here in the settings itself. You can uncheck the box, and as you can see I have the box unchecked. But in addition to that, you have keybinds in the keybind menu where you can either put in a key to which you hold to have arm lock, or you can have, like I have, a key where you can toggle the arm lock. And arm lock is very important if you have lasers in the arms on your mech, because it allows you to concentrate all of your laser beams in one location, even from the arms. Otherwise you might be shooting somewhere with your torso lasers and somewhere completely else with your arm lasers. So this helps you play. You need to try out for yourself whether you like to hold a button to keep the arm lock, whether you like to toggle it, or whether you even prefer to have it on from the start and then toggle it off during the game. Test out all three of these things for yourself, figure out which one is for you. This one is for me, this one is for me the best one. And I will here show a short clip of what you can do when all of your lasers are in exact same, you know, position. Look at what's happening to this Marauder bounty hunter's right shoulder, where the big gun on the bounty hunter is. That is what you can do with laser vomit when you are on point with those lasers. Now let me hop on to some actual gameplay here, and I will do this with the Timberwolf C, and I will show you why and how, and some of the very basics. You know, as a summary at the end. And here we are, Caustic Valley Testing Grounds. Testing Grounds because this allows me to talk and show this stuff off at my own leisure pace. And Caustic Valley because it is a very hot map, and that plays a big role in testing your build. So first of all, this whole arm lock situation. Let me show you what happens if I alpha strike with arm lock off, and look where my arms are pointing if you know how crosshair works. This is very inefficient way to do your lasers. However, if you look at my weapon groups, I have a weapon group just for arm lasers for the reason of hunting UAVs, fast light mechs, so on. However, let me toggle that arm lock and show you what I'm talking about here when it comes to focus firing lasers and stuff. That is all in the center torso. Center torso obviously the easiest target to hit on these things, and there we go. That is what I'm talking about. The main thing I am using Caustic Valley here for, and why I recommend it as a testing ground. One, there is 3 mechs right next to each other in an easy way to shoot at 3 different elevation levels, which is kind of important. You can just come here, you have Centurion on level ground, you have a target above you, and you have a target essentially slightly below you. And all of them are in a nice triangular position. Essentially you have to turn to face all 3 of them. But Caustic Valley for the heat. You have to know how much of your heat bar you're going to get every time you fire, and make it a very simple mental note. For example, with this build here, I know that when I am moving, I have to be around 15% heat to never overheat when I fire this. If I am moving adds just ever so slightly heat, which is dissipated by the heatsinks, because heatsinks dissipate stuff while it is happening. However, as long as I am at 15% or below it, I can always alpha strike and not overheat. And that is something you need to know when you're playing Laser Vomit Max. When can you alpha strike? Because in general, Laser Vomit is all about this alpha strike playstyle. And then you can figure out, okay, how long about is my break between shots if you really want that. And of course, these things are entirely affected by the skill tree you have. The more skill points you have poured in, and so on, and I am not going to go into skill points here. That is an entirely different topic on what you should spend your skill points on and so forth. This is rather more to the actual playstyle and such. But as you can see, while I'm just walking around here, as long as I am at that around 15% point, I can just alpha strike all dang day. Then I wait until that 15% point mark and I fire again. This is why this is such a leisure playstyle, because you have these very clear breaks between engagements, and I can entirely look around. Okay, there is a target. Then I have this break while I'm wandering around. I can engage same target again. I have another break because I am cooling off anyway. Can come out here, see a target. Come down the valley. I am cooling off. See a target, I still need to cool off a little. There we go. And continue the same route forever. And this is the playstyle I recommend to everybody who is especially new to the game. Because situational awareness is such key thing for this game, for being successful, and your positioning in relation to the enemy and to your team. And there we have it. And with all of that said and done, hopefully this taught you the basics of laser vomit. I will possibly talk about the skill points at another point in time, but not in this video. Thank you very much for watching, and oh, before I jump over, I'll show you the results of the Timberwolf match I was using in the background section there, since somebody's going to ask anyway.